you guys are good to go.
Sweet. What's up, family? This is Corel Built. Today I'm out here at Standard Culture Fitness Club with one of the owners. And we're going to be going over what started this gym, the story behind it. And, this gym is built based off of discipline consistently and real community. So, this is David here, one of the owners. Can you just share what started this gym, man, and what made you open it?
Hey, what's going on, man? Thank you for having me. Started the gym, I think 4 or 5 years ago. How it started was I was training, right? Doing my thing. It started at Silent Warrior. So it was like a way for me to get my clients to separate myself from everybody else at the gym. So we did that for a couple years and then met an investor, me and my brother, like 4 or 5 years ago, maybe 6. Started the gym. It was called Routine Maintenance. So me and my brother, we were standard warrior. So that's what we did. We had like that warrior mentality. We didn't have any dogs, and like that's kind of how we kind of got going. And then probably I'm like going on year 4, right when COVID starts. The gym is just popping. We're selling $100 memberships. We're not allowed to have people work out, so we're just keeping it under wraps. And that's kind of like how the momentum started going. And then we started a brand called Standard Nutrition, and we did nutrition. And then after that, I was like, okay, I don't like Standard Warrior anymore. I was like, I just don't like that name. And then we went Standard Culture. Okay. And then I was like, okay, Standard Culture. And then we started the gym. My clients all came over, and we started it 5 years ago, me and my brother. And we had another partner at the time, and kind of wanted to just be able to have a place who, if you couldn't afford personal training, we would make it work. So we wouldn't turn anybody away. We're still like that to this day. I always ask people, what's your monthly budget that you can like afford? Like if you can't afford it, then it's gonna stress you out. Like what can you afford? Not that I need you to be here 3 or 4 months, but I want it to be within your budget. So we want it to be affordable. No contracts. You don't have to have a membership because we don't do that. And we wanted to have a good time. We just wanted to train hard and just see what it's about. It's about results. It's personable. We didn't need all the fancy equipment and just grinding it out, man.
Yeah, man. So it started off with Standard Warrior.
Yeah.
Standard Nutrition, and then Standard Culture.
Silent Warrior, actually.
Silent Warrior.
Yeah, so I had like a lion logo. It was green. Okay. And when I was at 24 Hour Fitness, I would give my clients a shirt after they earned it. And it would say like, loyalty on the side. And that was be a way to kind of do that. And I would have my trainers have different colors. As I got older, I would get more trainers in here. Not everybody wanted to have my logo. And then we switched it up. So now Standard Culture became Standard Culture Fitness Club. And we've been doing that for 4 years, but we're kind of transitioning into wolf culture, kind of outgrowing what Standard Culture was. Like that's the standard of what we wanted, but now there's an actual culture. Like you can say you want a culture, but culture comes with time. Yeah. And that's what I've realized. Like, okay, I want to build this culture. The culture's here, but it's like, you have to have years of like mistakes and like results and kind of learn through that. And then that's what the culture is. Like the culture is like experience is what I've realized. And so being young, I wanted to have that. 24, I thought I had it all figured out. Made a lot of mistakes, lived here for a little while, had to live up top, bought a travel trailer to try to make this work, right? You think you want to do your own business, right? Like I had an investor and he took care of a lot of the things, right? If we're short on rent, he's got me. And so to take that over, even though this was my purpose and that's where the Lord had me, it was hard, right? It's not that I ever doubted it, but there'd be times where I have $0 in my account. We were at this one point where we couldn't even afford the heat. I think we were drowning. We just couldn't figure it out. I'm living at my mom's house. We're driving up with 7 puppies. And I have a client and I was like, dude, you should buy these protein shakes. And I was like, I'll go get them for you at Costco. I have $80 in my account. So I buy them for him. And he goes, David, come outside for me real quick. And he hands me this envelope and he goes, the Lord told me last night, like to give this to you. It's not from me, it's a gift from the Lord. I was like, all right, man, I appreciate that. Like, thank you. Hug him and open it up and it's $5,000. Like that's more money than anyone in my entire life has ever given me. And I was like, oh, this is where the Lord has me. Yep. And it wasn't that I was doubted, but I was like, it was just, we're doing it for nothing. Like we're training people for $25 an hour. I'm like driving a 1997 Honda Accord, sold my truck to try to make this work. Like we did everything to make it work. And so to have that moment was like, okay, I'm supposed to be here. It didn't get any easier after that, but it was a reminder that like, somebody that was my client that I barely knew, and he was so disciplined in the Lord, right? To listen to the Lord, because if the Lord was like, hey, I need you to give you $5,000, I'm like, are you sure? I'd ask him, are you sure you want me to give him $5,000? Are you sure? Like maybe like, are you sure 500? And so for him to do that more than my own like family would give me, which showed me how much strength he had in the Lord, right? Because I always think strength is just running hard and power, but it's like strength is like obedience, right?
Absolutely.
And so that was kind of like our first 2 years starting that. And then we had a smoothie bar here and it failed. We did meal prep and then food started going up. So that failed as well. So it was like, okay, all these little projects. We did merch and we had a store, we had an e-commerce account, and it was just like, I think we sold almost like 3,000 pieces of merch. But then how much work that came in, we broke even. So it's like, then we closed the e-commerce account and then I just stopped doing the merch. And so then I was like, I'm gonna focus on what's important, is just personal training. So it kind of became less glamorous, less like no water bottles, no stickers, just kind of got back to what it was. Instead of trying to build, let's do a podcast, standard culture podcast, let's do the meals, let's do this. It's like, actually, let me just do what the Lord has asked me to do, because I know the Lord had me personal training, but I was like, let me add all these things along the way. But then I'm just stringing myself out and I'm not the best version. And so that was kind of the first 2 years of starting the gym. And then having less trainers, right? I wanted to build a team. I wanted to have the vision where I like the people I started with, I wanted them to come up with me, but they're not here. Everybody that I started with isn't here. Like sometimes I'm in the gym by myself 80% of the time. And I'm like, there'd be moments where I'm like, this is not what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be the people. We all started from nothing and this is what it was. But that was just me being selfish, wanting my vision to be this. And so, came back and just grinding it out right now.
Yeah, man. Wow. So there's just a lot behind the scenes that nobody sees.
Yeah.
And it's crazy when you have faith like that, man, and you just keep believing, God just opens doors for you, right? Like that client just handed some money to you that I'm sure you never expected, man. So, we got to give God's we got to appreciate, what God does for us, for real. But man, when it comes down to everything, I know that you're creating a culture with the dogs, man. Tell us a little bit about that, brother.
Yeah, I never really had dogs growing up, and we had 2 of the original dogs, Ace and Thunder. Those were my first 2 boy dogs. And then we got Storm. You've seen Storm.
Yeah.
She's the OG. She had puppies, and she had 7 puppies. And that was kind of a way, like, they bought my trailer. And so then we had 3 dogs. We kept a puppy, 4. And then one of our clients was like, hey, there's a dog that needs to be rescued. I'm living at my mom's house. So we get 5 dogs, puppies. We're coming in the morning. My mom does not like dogs. And so we're doing that. And then I fell in love with the dogs, right? I just felt just like this calling, and like they helped keep the gym open. We had this little area right here with a puppy pen. Then we had another litter of puppies. And then we were rescuing dogs. And then I just fell in love with what that kind of pack mentality was. Because it started, I was like big cat, tigers. Like you can see there's a tiger over there. The original logo's like that. But to understand,
the tiger.
Yeah, so it was like tiger was like the first thing, but then seeing the wolf pack mentality and like, being a lone wolf, like you struggle, right? I'm not supposed to be alone. Like we're supposed to be in community. And so dogs taught me community. And people just fell in love with the dogs. And so I'd bring my dogs here and it became like this therapy for people. People were like, where's Storm? Where's Storm?
Being a lone wolf, man. That's wild that you point that out, because that's so true, man. We tend to isolate ourselves so much sometimes, and we start to realize like community is really where we're meant to be, man.
Yeah, and it's nice sometimes to be alone, right? And so sometimes it's hard to get out of that route where it's just like me. And so I fell in love with the wolves. Like I just love these guys. And so now we have a new litter. I'm on my 3rd generation, so I'll have like my dog just had kids, so like my great grandkids, kind of a way. But I think like the dog mentality, it's not really even a dog mentality. I think I just, with like the wolves and like how I see how the pack interacts, like it's constantly changing. And with dogs, they don't hold grudges, right? They're happy every day. And it's always a reminder for me to not lose the joy in life.
Absolutely.
Like my dogs are so happy to see me. They're just so joyful, because it's easy to lose that joy in life, right? Because it's like you're chasing goals, and like goals can get kind of just stagnant. Like, okay, you hit this milestone. Like I hit so many milestones in my life and it made me feel empty, right? Like I opened the gym, I have this, I have the house, I have the cars, the vacations, and I'm like, it's all meaningless, right? But 21-year-old David wanted what I had at 28. And it was like, you forget the lessons of what the Lord taught me. Like I strayed away, like, okay, yeah, Lord, you gave me $5,000, but now I think I need to do this on my own. And like trying to do that and not listening to him. And there's repercussions for that. But I kind of lost that faith, right? I lost my faith along the way doing this, right? I got caught up into just like, man, I'm broke. And then I'm starting to make money, and then we do it, and I'm at the top, and I'm like calling my investor, and I was like, what now?
Right.
I have the house, I have the family, I got a couple cars, I got the trailer, I got all this crap, and I'm like, what now? I'm living in a nice neighborhood. I have my neighbors like, what's it like to feel rich? And I'm like, I don't know. It made me feel empty, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't trust the Lord's plan, and it wasn't the right way. And I learned not all money is good money, right? Like taking money that's the wrong way comes with a price. And so I kind of went the last 2 years, man, I wasn't in a great spot. I kind of just put myself not trusting the Lord, like putting the Lord like, hey, I'm right here. Like I'm David, I'll get it figured out, right? Or I can help this person, and being humbled. And I got humbled, right? Like it wasn't a cockiness. It was more of just a confidence that I know I'm just super calm and hey, I'll be able to figure it out. But it's been a rough last year, but I needed the Lord to bring me back to where I'm at now. And this is probably the best I've ever been in my life. Just turned 30, and getting back to trusting the Lord, right? I got away from that, right? I would have clients like, oh, I didn't even know you love Jesus. Damn, right? You hear that's like, I'm not doing a good job, right? Like I'm not doing a good job portraying myself because I was like, I want to be young. Right now I'm like, I want to be young for a little bit, right? I want to do this, right? And then
Man.
So that's kind of part of it. And so now I'm in a good spot now where it's like, what's really important to me, and that's constantly changing, like right now, like what's important to me is whatever season the Lord has me. And sometimes I think it's so broad where I'm like, okay, this is where he has me, but I'm like, no, he has me in this part of the season, and being okay for him to move me into a different season. And so I can't hold on to something. And that's what sometimes I'll hold on to something too long. And it's like, okay, no, the Lord has you moving right here. People change out of your lives, and that's okay.
Yeah, exactly, man. That's true. Yeah, not everybody's meant to be in your life, brother.
Yeah.
And, I love that you're pointing out the fact that just money doesn't bring happiness to you, man. And it sounds like you were chasing that money. You figured out, you got there, and you're just like, I don't feel what I thought I was going to.
Yeah, and it's just a weird thing because everybody wants to talk about like, you're a business owner, it must be great, man, the money. And it's like, it's not that money was bad. It was the fact that I didn't have a goal for my money, right? Like I thought I wanted the house. I thought I wanted the cars, the $80,000 truck. I thought it would make me feel good. And it feels good for a week and two, then you don't care.
Yeah.
And like, when people say like, oh, money doesn't matter, like, and like it does matter. Like you need to be comfortable. It's hard to feel stressed out about money or like going to dinner not knowing if you can pick it up. Like there is a sense where it does matter. I think having your goals with money being really, really like tied with the Lord on how he's going to move that with you. And it's not about giving it away. It's not about not having a nice house. I think it has to be earned. Everything in life has to be earned. If it's given, it doesn't mean anything. And I had to learn that the hard way. Like, people, gifts are great, but if something wasn't earned the right way, it's just not going to mean anything. It's what I've realized,
Absolutely, man. And just to kind of get into that a little bit more deeper, man, like what would you say that faith played, like what has faith played a role in your journey?
I think it's more of a love of Jesus that he has for me, right? Because it's like, okay, what my faith has shown that it's weak. My faith has been weak. Okay, I've never not loved the Lord or not believed in Jesus, but my faith to trust him, right? To understand faith is so much bigger than just like, okay, my faith in him. It's like, okay, well, what does that trust look like? Do you submit? I'm not submitting as much as I needed to. And so, on that journey, at least right now, trying to understand what my faith is I didn't want to lead young men. I was like, Lord, I don't want to do it. I went like Jonah in the Bible, go in the well. I'm not going there. I do not want to lead young men because I have to get all my skeletons out of the closet. I can't just be like, oh, I'm standard culture here. Then I leave and I go to the house and I'm somebody else, or I'm doing something outside of this. And I realize I can't do both, and I didn't want to do both. And so I'm like, all right, Lord, I'm not going to do that. And so I think right now with my faith, it's always been good. The Lord is good. It's undeserving. Like my faith is undeserving for how much Jesus is just so patient and forgiving of constantly just like, man, did it again.
During the times when you were really dealing with this, like that mental struggle, and you weren't really looking at faith, like what is it that kept you going during those hard times?
You don't even know you're in hard times, right? I didn't need anything. Like I was rolling. You wouldn't even know I was struggling. Unless you really, really knew me back in the day, you wouldn't even know. I would, dap it up with you, what's good, And I go to the house and do what I got to do, right? So it's like, I wasn't even struggling during that time. you get to that moment where you're just like, the Lord pulled me out this time. It wasn't that moment where I came to the Lord. The Lord grabbed me and pulled me out of the situation that I was in. And I was like, whoa. It was like, you are still my son and I need you out of this. And I've been protecting you spiritually. And it's not physical and it's not about the money. It's like, I'm protecting you spiritually and I've been fighting this battle. And I could feel the Lord, like I could feel my body like wrestle with it, like my Holy Spirit, right? And then understanding that, it was like, the Lord grabbed me out of that. And he's like, I'm going to humble you. And it wasn't a humble you in front of the masses. Like, I'm going to humble you to your core. I'm going to have you have everything, and I'm going to take it all away and see how you are. Can you still be the same person? Yeah. Can you still show up? Right? It's not that I owed him when it's like, okay, the Lord took me out of my situation, and I needed that. I needed the Lord to grab me because there was nobody getting me out of that. Not my brother, none of my mentors. Nobody's going to tell me anything.
Right.
But the Lord pulled me out, and so because he did that, now it's like, now I submit at everything that I do. And do you still love what you do? And I realized, man, I'm so much happier now than I was back then because I'm so in line with the Lord. And there's still times where it's hard. I'm like, man, Lord, are you sure? Is this what we're doing? It's like, yep. So it's like, okay, but it's easy for me to say it like, oh, I have nothing now and I had so much because I had something. It's easy for like me to say that when somebody hasn't had that yet. And so I've kind of just realized that where, my faith, I needed to build a strength with my faith.
That's good,
get stronger with my faith.
I love that,
brother.
And then, you can see it, man. Just with the conversations I've had with you, I can see that, it's been a journey for you, and you're still going, man. So I love to see it. Now, going back a little bit more to the gym here, man. I see you constantly posting about your clients here, and I love to see it, man. So what happens to someone when they stay consistent in your gym, man?
I think over the years, it was always weight loss, right? I lost 85 pounds. I was always overweight growing up. Like, I just loved to eat. I lived next door to my grandma, homemade tortillas. Like, I'm going to grandma's. Grandma's live next door. I'm always hungry.
Yeah.
And I think that mentality of trying to build a lifestyle, because it's like, I work out to eat, right? I don't just like work out. It's like, I like to eat. That's why I work out. And so I can relate with my clients, and I like to kind of do the 5-2 rule. 5 days on, you're super disciplined. 2 days, you're relaxing, right? And make it a lifestyle. I like to eat cheese. I like to, enjoy food. And so I think I try to help people, people come in and they have their goal. Okay, after you lose weight, now what?
Yeah.
Well, then we'll find goals where it's running or Spartan races or different things, because you have to keep it going. And then in a health aspect, like, how do I help you guys for your kids and be better mentally? And
Absolutely,
I think,
man, I love that. Like, it should be a lifestyle, not just for that person, but for their family, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. So I love to hear that, man, because here, if you're in Vancouver, Washington, and you're struggling, you want to get into fitness, your family's never, sometimes it's a generational thing, right? And we're just not working out. I highly recommend, come check out this gym. It's in Vancouver, Standard Culture Fitness Club. David's out here changing lives, and I'd love for more people to be part of it. So with that being said, what separates people who succeed here versus those who don't?
I think the biggest thing that I've seen with clients, because I can't really speak for them, but I think the biggest thing that I've seen with my clients is the mindset that changes. It starts like with their kids, like they just become better. Like, I've seen clients get, $80,000 raises, right? But it exposes a lot. Yes, right? I've seen a lot of downfall. I've seen people become the worst version of themselves. And then I'm like, what am I doing this for? I just helped you lose weight and now you're the worst version of yourself. What did I do? Now I'm wrestling with it. I'm like, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? You just became this egotistic person. And because you become vain, it becomes very vanity very quickly. And there's that fine line in here where everyone's chasing perfection. Right? And like, when people are like, I want to have a 6-pack. Okay, I tell my clients, it's not usually probably the answer everybody wants to hear. Okay, eat less. If you want to look good and have a 6-pack, like, you're going to have to do things that are a little unhinged to look that good. It's just what it is. It's not about being healthy at that point. You wanting to do, look good, then you're going to have to do things that are a little uncanny. But then it's like that part where people come in for vanity, people come in for strength, and trying to find that good line, because we all want to look good. It's not like, oh, it's a bad thing, but trying to keep people at bay is hard, and especially as a young man. I'm 23 trying to lead 47-year-old men, 50-year-old men. I'm still a kid, right? And they're looking at me for advice, and they're wanting to be me, right? And I'm like, yo, don't be me, don't be me. well, maybe I should just be a better example to myself, and then I'll let you guys kind of decide that. I think that's the hardest thing.
Lead by example. Yes, sir.
Is doing that. I want people to enjoy fitness. Go out. We're only here for an hour. It's not the culture. Like the culture, standard culture doesn't really exist. The culture is outside of it, right? The culture is you leave. Like this is very small. This is a quarter of like, you're here for an hour, maybe hour and a half. Like go out and hike, go be with your kids. Like go be active. Like this doesn't matter. Who cares about getting stronger? Who cares that you ran a 7-minute mile? That's really doesn't even matter, right? Who cares that your biceps are bigger? Go take what you've learned here and go out and enjoy life. Because life is, going getting some fresh air, going on a walk at the end of the evenings. Like that's what it's about. Like this whole gym culture thing can get very toxic. And I've learned I have to find a good boundary of that with everybody, with my clients. Because if we get all like, man, I'm trying to lose weight, I want to have a 6-pack, I want to do this.
Get into it too much.
Maybe that's not the best thing for my business and for money, but that's not what I'm here to do.
That just shows that you're truly trying to help the community, man, especially out here, because like the rain really gets to people's mind, especially when it's constantly raining and people can't do anything. I think businesses like yours are truly the ones who can help those communities, get out of that mindset of just kind of being isolated, right?
Yeah.
So I love that, man. Honestly, and you're talking about perfection and people trying to be fit. So I'm gonna ask you a little bit more about. I want to get into peptides a little bit, bro. I'm considering peptides myself.
Mm-hmm.
I love bodybuilding. So you have some more knowledge. So I'm gonna dig in your brain a little bit when it comes to this. Okay. So man, when it comes to peptides, man, tell me a little bit about them. What do they do for people?
So I am not an expert at peptides at all. Okay. I'm still very new to it. I took a class for 12 weeks to try to understand what they do. Everyone is like, their brains, amino acids that are in your body, all this stuff, your body naturally has it. They do have a lot of benefits, but I would honestly have people not do peptides than do, because there still is a lot of gray area with it. Like they're not FDA approved, which isn't a big deal, but there isn't enough long-term research with it. But there is a lot of benefits. Like I've done RETA. I've seen amazing results. I've done about 14 different peptides, and like, they do give you that edge, but I like to say, like, I like to dumb it down. I don't want to act like I know the science, because I've done a very small level of chemistry class, like with that, right? I'm not a doctor. I don't understand those molecules. So to talk like that would just be not.
That's real, man. I mean, what is your experience with peptides?
It's like the cherry on top. It's going to look really good on the sundae, but if you put a cherry on a piece of crap, it's still a piece of crap. Wow. It's not going to make the crap look any better, right? You just put the cherry on top. So if your diet is dialed in, you have your mind-body connection, you lift consistently, your sleep is good, peptides are going to take you to the next level. They're going to help you look good. So there's like the longevity side of them. There is like the aesthetic side, the health benefits. So there's so many different ones, but it's for people who really understand their body, right? Because they're going to change, right? Like, if you're just starting to work out and you're doing that, you might not notice a difference. It's really for kind of your, not elite athletes, but it's for people who are elite gym goers, like to understand their body, right? Because it's like, if you take peptides and you're like, I'm sleeping 4 hours, I'm under eating on my protein, then you're losing your protein, like you're gonna lose mass. Like for RETA, for weight loss, is really good for people who like don't digest carbs very well. So like people who have a fast metabolism, they're using their carbs as fuel automatically. I have a slow metabolism, so when I take it, I can eat carbs and my body uses it as fuel as it needs to. It just makes everything faster in your body that you need. Like trizipatide is a really good weight loss. So if you're struggling to lose weight, that's really good. But there's people, say you wanted to get a little bit more cut and you take it and you undereat your protein, you just lost muscle, right? So there is a good fine line. It's taking over just fitness in general.
Because it's big right now. I've seen like constantly everybody talking about
it's
peptides.
Massive. People love it. It's a fancy little cute name, right? But they're drugs, and you don't want to get addicted to it. You want to know your long-term health. You want to make sure you get it from a reliable source, right? There's a lot of China peptides that people want to take, and I'm not saying they're good or bad. I don't know, but I think you should get it from a third-party tested.
Why do you think they're becoming so popular in fitness right now?
I think fitness has changed over the years where, before there was reels, like nobody really would talk about their journey. It was just influencers and trainers or bodybuilders. Well, it's like bodybuilding isn't even the mecca of fitness anymore. Influencers have taken over. Like I've never done the influencer thing at all. Like I've been in this journey since 2017 in fitness, where I've seen people at the top, like Jeff Saeed, like, these guys that were just at their top at the peak before it was even a thing, when it was like Athlete X, like on YouTube, and
Athlete
like,
X,
like
yeah,
those
I know what it
Mike
is.
six-pack shortcut. It was like,
Yeah.
I don't know what he would call it. Like, they would say like, oh, you lose weight, after you get done working out. And so it changed over time. And I think right now, after COVID, everybody's very health conscious. This is the most health conscious that I've seen this generation of people.
That's
Like the
true, man.
generation of 45-year-olds to 50 are very health conscious, right? Like,
Yeah.
but 10 years ago, those 40 and 50-year-olds were 30-year-olds, right? So
Yeah.
time has changed, and I think everybody wants to be healthy. COVID scared a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
and I think healthcare is a big reason. Nobody has healthcare. Nobody gets to go to the doctor like they used to. And I have clients who have healthcare that have horrible experiences with their doctor that aren't helping them feel better. And I think the way that food is processed, it's just so mass produced,
That's facts,
right? And
bro.
farmers are being condensed more and more with like these bigger, what do they call them?
The
Warehouses where they're doing all
They're
the
just the things, the additives, everything that they're adding into.
yeah,
the
but
food,
just like
yeah.
farming has just gone down more, so food isn't the same anymore,
Yeah.
and things have just changed. And so now that healthcare is not as easy as it used to be for people, and doctors are overworked, people want to feel good.
Yeah, absolutely. man.
Even for me, I take peptides and I take my vitamins. I do sauna. Man, I still sometimes wake up with brain fog. Everybody wants to be
Yeah.
the best version of themselves. Social media has changed it all.
Absolutely.
Everybody's on Instagram.
Yeah.
Before, not everybody was on it. And I think peptides have, people all want to look their best, and everyone is chasing that perfection, right? And, even for myself, like I'm always like, okay, I want to get a little bit more lean. I want to get a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
We all have body dysmorphia. Like I'm cutting right now. I was looking in the mirror the other day. I'm like, man, I'm a scrawny little dude today. I'm a scrawny little guy. But then I bulk and I'm like, man, I'm a big guy. So everyone
all-
struggles with
That's
that,
crazy, man. That's
with that
so
mindset.
True.
But peptides are easy to get. You can
Yeah.
just get them shipped to your house. Like back in the day, like if you wanted to do steroids, you would have to know somebody.
Right,
You don't have
yeah.
to know somebody. You can order them right now. And so
Yeah.
I think they're just so available.
I think that's so true, and that's why it's such a big thing now. Because you can it's like you go on Amazon and buy something. You can do that with peptides now. It's crazy, man.
And Instagram and influencing, like I use Instagram all the time to market myself. The hard part is what Instagram has done is like if you look the part, maybe you'll be able to be them, right? And everybody wants to be them, right? Because before you would have to be an actor or a sports person or accomplish something.
Yeah.
Like I haven't really accomplished anything to have followers. I'm just somebody who lost 80 pounds who owns a gym.
I didn't even know you used to be 80 pounds.
Yeah, I was overweight my whole life. I was a fat kid. Nobody wanted to date me. I didn't date anybody growing up. Like I was
Really?
offensive lineman, D
I did
tackle.
see some pictures actually.
Like I was the big boy growing up, and then I remember this one girl still in my head where she's like, David's really cute, but he's fat.
Oh, that's
And my buddy told me that, and I'm like, okay. And we were like gallon gangs. We would just run. I was my first gym goer, and so
You're
that
still
was
into running, huh, brother? I wanted to ask you about.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're
brother,
good.
But I know you're big into racing. I see you doing these races all the time. So, how do you balance endurance with training? With
yeah.
like when it comes to like you're racing, and then you're in here all the time. So like, how's that balancing out, bro?
Yeah, I used to do running when I was a kid a little bit with my mom. My mom did half marathons, but I was a big boy, so I wasn't very good at it. And my client, Nick, we lost 70 pounds. But I was like, how do we keep you going? And he's like, I want to do a Spartan race. So we started doing Spartan races. And then we did a half marathon Spartan. And then I placed third out of like 2,000 people in the Spartan race. And I was like, okay, I think I kind of like this. And so then I started getting into like running again, like all the way to the top. I started doing 5Ks and then 7 and then a half marathon. And I did my first marathon last year, and that was horrible. It was so hard. The hardest thing mentally that I've ever done. Like I found that weak voice in my head that I put away, that scared David that I never ever have to deal with. I heard that voice where I wanted to quit. There was no music. There was nothing that was going to motivate me to keep wanting to run. I was at mile 21.
When was this?
Like, my first marathon.
Okay.
And I've never hit that wall. Like when I run, like that's my time of meditation. People like to meditate. I can't do that. Running is my meditation. That is when I get to talk to the Lord. I get to talk to myself, and it's me versus me, or I'm with my dogs. Like running is my meditation, right? Or whatever, just like my time to unwind. And then when I'm doing my marathon, I run with either a chip on my shoulder or something to prove. Like I go in there ready to go to war. That's how I like to run. I'm not here like, wow, look at the sun and look at the clouds. No, I'm in there. Let's get this done. Like I'm going to war. That's how I like to run.
That's cool.
I'm
man.
getting in this marathon. I'm running, and I'm like hearing this voice in my head like, quit, dude, quit. This is too hard. And I wanted to quit because it was too hard. Like it was way too hard. I'm like, what is this voice? Like when I train, I get crazy. Like it's me versus me. That's my time. And like strength like is my kind of my thing when I train. But when I was running, I got that voice of like kind of just humbled a little bit. Like I found that weakness in, David Goggins, who's going to carry the boats. Like you have that mentality, but like I hit that wall at mile 21 and I was like, I haven't heard that voice in my head. That scared kid that I put away for a long time was like, not that I was scared. It was just more of like,
oh man,
I hit the wall. Like I'm at 21 miles and there's nothing I can tap into. Or it's not rage, it's not anger, it's not thinking I'm racing against somebody. It's like you versus you. Music doesn't matter. Can you show up for you? Can you do this for you now? Because these 7 miles are going to be you. Because I'm like, man, I want to quit. And it was like, do you care about yourself enough to do it for you? Because sometimes I don't do it for me. I do it for everybody else. I show up for my clients. I show up for everybody around me. But do I love myself enough to show up for me? And during that running time, I was like, man, I don't know if I love myself enough to show up for me. And that was like just the voice I needed to hear. And so now this year, I'm training for time and running. And so finding that balance of, strength and endurance, like I've never been strong. I'd finally just be able to bench 315 the last 2 years. Right? I've never been naturally strong, but I'm like, okay, to find that balance, right now, training for like, so I could run a marathon, not for speed and keep strength where I could deadlift like 500, squat 400, bench 350. Cool, but like when I'm training for speed right now with my running, I've realized I can't have the strength. It's probably dropped like 25%. But you just got to be okay with that.
One or the other, right?
Yeah, and try to find that good balance. And so like hybrid athletes, that's how I train my clients. I used to be made fun of when I would train people because it used to be like, you have to do progressive overload. Like it's called HIIT training, but it would be made fun of. And now it's popular. Now they have these races around the world that they do sled pushes and battle ropes. Like my training style has now become this forefront of how people want to train.
Right. Yeah. No. And HIIT training is more popular now, man. It's actually something I've been seeing more often. So, when it comes to HIIT training, I know I wanted to ask you about that. So, why is it so effective compared to like traditional cardio?
It's anybody can do it. It's convenient. So, like working out, probably 80% of it is your warm up. How do you get yourself warmed up?
Yes, sir.
Right? Mentally and physically. If I can tell my client, go hop on a mile and you can run for a mile, now you're warmed up and you're ready to go. But now you don't need me as a trainer. I'm teaching you how to train yourself. HIIT is really good for training clients. People who are disciplined in bodybuilding, they don't need that. You have the discipline. This isn't for people who have discipline.
Right.
It's for people, hey, when you're at your hotel gym, hey, there's a treadmill.
Yes, sir.
Go run a mile, go do 20 push-ups or get back on and do a lap. And it's really easy to get your heart rate up, right? And it's efficient, right? It's very efficient with your time. I hate when people are wasting their time in the gym. They don't need to be in here 3 hours. And I don't want my clients to
I love that, bro.
I don't train people like I used to. Like I have clients that I train 5 days a week because they like to train.
Yeah.
If I have somebody who doesn't really like to train, I can get the same results in 2 days with my clients. I can see you 2 times a week. And I tested that this year. Is that good for me financially? No, but it doesn't really matter. Like I have this client, Jason. We train twice a week. He's never worked out before. We lost 40 pounds in 6 months. Just training twice a week.
Nice.
And he bought a meal plan. And I'm like, we're efficient with our time. He's got 6 kids. It doesn't make sense for him to be in here 4 or 5 days a week. So as a trainer, how do I get better, right? Sir. Like I can train more people. Back in the days, like, oh, I need to see you 4 days a week. It's like, no, I can push you guys to almost to the brink of like breaking your body because I'm going to see you Tuesday, Thursday. You're going to have enough rest days. And not I actually break their body, but like push it to the spot where their heart rate gets raised.
So when it comes down to like those shorter routines, like 2 days out of instead of like 5 days out of a week, is that when you're adding those HIIT workouts in for them because it constantly works almost everything?
Yeah, and I make all my clients run because that's the first thing you lose in life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, you see an old guy, he's going to tell you, man, I wish I could run still.
Yeah.
And I tell my clients that's going to be the first thing you're going to wish one day you could still run. So I make all my clients run. And it's one of those things where they don't want to do it because they're not good at it. And once you start getting good at it, that time starts getting a little bit more less. They get addicted to it. And so I kind of just do that mentality with my clients. They need to run. Running is good.
Running is good. Yeah.
Not everybody's built for running though. Like I have some clients that aren't built for running. That's okay. I have some clients that I'm going to make you run. And that's kind of how I do it.
Absolutely, man. Running is like you said, it's like a type of therapy, bro.
Yeah.
Honestly, like people don't realize it if you're not working out at all. if you go on a walk or a run and you do it consistently, you start getting those endorphins, right?
Yeah.
It feels good, man. It feels
Yeah.
good.
It's
So
hard, that balance
yeah,
between like, people who like to work out and people who like to train. So it's like there are different mentalities, and there's always that category of people who work out that want to say, well, oh, you don't need to do that. Well, people who train, I need my clients to do something tough today, right? To
yes,
challenge
sir.
yourself today that you did something tough and it's going to be okay today. Like you just went through this hard workout and you changed it up, right? Because what I've realized is people who don't work out or train and you have that stress in your body and you don't have an outlet for it. Some people turn to drinking, to drugs,
Sure.
or migraines, or just tension in their body, right? This is a
Absolutely.
good way. You had a bad day at the office. Let's get it out here. You're
Yes,
having a
sir.
rough day. Let's take it out of the gym. Let this place be the place you take that out of. Because if you don't, then you're going to turn to something, because we're all chasing dopamine, right? We
Absolutely.
all want caffeine. We're very dopamine driven.
We are.
Everybody is right
Everybody
now.
is,
And
yeah.
it's wild. And so this is a good way for me when I'm like, hey, how was your day with my clients? Man, I had a rough day. All right, cool. We're going to leave it at the door.
Gotta put
And
this
we're
on
going to leave the
silent real
bad day.
quick.
Yeah. And
Phone's over here ringing.
and so, but yeah, that's why I want it to,
Yeah.
have my clients leave it at the door, right? It's
Yeah.
important. Like training is important for the mindset, right? That
Absolutely.
you got
It
stronger
is,
today
man.
and you didn't think you could do it, and we did. And I have to build that mentality. And sometimes it's hard because you'll get people who want to talk bad about them, who like to work out, right?
Yeah.
Weight training is important. That's easy.
Yeah.
Anybody can weight train. But to teach people how to train, and it's hard though, because gyms aren't designed for training. Gyms are designed for one way, bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Right, and that's just what it is. Nothing is wrong with bodybuilding, but those guys have the utmost discipline. Like I tried to
Right.
get into it, and I was like, I can't do that. You're
Yeah.
gonna catch me eating my fourth meal of chicken
Ah,
and
it's
rice
not
and
easy,
hating
bro.
life. No way. Give me my
It's
chips and salsa, bro. You ain't gonna miss me with
Going
that.
back to mindset and training a little bit, brother. You're obviously an individual with a very strong mind, brother. So I just wanted everybody to be able to hear a little bit more about this from you.
Yeah.
So why is accountability so important when it comes to this environment, man?
Accountability is everything. I lost 85 pounds, and then I got a girlfriend, and then I gained 40 pounds back. And I go,
No,
oh, heck no.
yeah.
So then I go work at a gym at 24 selling personal training. I was just in membership sales. And I realized I needed the gym to keep me accountable. I needed to work in a gym. I didn't even want to be a trainer. Then one of the trainers was like, dude, you'd be a great trainer. You're selling more training than our actual trainers. And then he sponsored me and paid for me to get certified.
Nice.
And that's what I've realized. Like I needed the accountability. You guys keep me accountable. Like my clients keep me accountable, because it's like, man, I don't want to work out, but I got my four. We kind of like the wolf pack in the morning. I got my
Yeah.
4 guys. We all work out every morning. It's like I need that accountability.
Yes, sir.
Right? Like my clients keep me accountable. It's like, okay, well, I have a gym, and so I have to have an image, I guess, in a sense, for that accountability with everybody else. Like they keep me accountable. I think accountability is great for the gym. There's times where I'm like, man, I don't want to work out today. But then I got the fellas that want to work out. Like I'll get clients, I'll train them, and then I usually start working out with my clients. And right when they get into shape, we'll do a workout together, and their excitement that they get to train with me, that they're like, yo, we just did the same workout, and they see
Yeah.
me out of breath with them. It's that
Yeah.
accountability. It's like,
Yes,
oh, we're
sir.
struggling with this together. Man,
sir.
Dave's over there. This workout is kicking his ass too. All right, cool. We're in this together. And that's kind of like the mentality that I've built. Like I train with a lot of my clients. I'll train with girl clients. Like, hey, let's work out. And they see me pushing it hard too. I'm like, whew, this is tough,
Yeah.
man. I don't want to do this today. And I think
That pushes them.
working
Yeah.
out is hard. Not everybody wants to work out. Not everybody loves to train. That's okay. I love working out.
Yeah, me too, brother.
But not everybody
Yeah.
likes it. And that's
Yeah.
okay. Like I have people that are like, I hate working out. That's why I'm here.
Yeah,
That's
a lot
okay.
of people don't like it.
And I'm not here to change the mentality. I'm not here to change your mindset to love to work out. But I'm going to change your mindset to be healthy.
Yes, sir.
And
And that comes back to this, man. A lot of people will see you as a leader, right? So, what does leadership mean to you as a gym owner, brother?
I don't even know if it's about being a gym owner. I think leadership for me,
Okay.
I did not want to be a leader. Don't want to be a leader.
Okay.
I don't want to have, I hate that. I hate being with a group of people like, all right, Dave, what are we going to do? I don't know what we're going to do. I don't want to be the leader. I do not want to be the leader. And now here I am. I have to be the leader. Lord, I don't want to lead. No, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Can I be second in command? Can I be third in command? I think leadership is telling my clients my failures. Leadership is being a failure, right? Because I'm going to fail over and over again, and being so real with my failures. Hey, I failed at this, because nobody wants to fail, right? And telling my clients, man, I failed at this business. I failed at doing this. So like the first part of leadership is accountability within yourself. And that's what I've realized. Okay, being accountable to everybody else is easy. Being accountable to myself every single day is what's important for leadership. I think leadership is sometimes having those hard conversations with people, and putting them the right way, and just telling them like, hey man, I was wrong. I was not doing the right thing that I needed us to do, and biting your tongue, right? Like, you know, when I was younger, let's go fight. Now I'm brother love. Like, yo man, let's we don't need to do this. Like, I'm not into that. But what is being able to humble yourself.
Absolutely.
I don't have to be raw. I don't need to be that big guy in the gym. Like, I don't need to have that personality. And so being a leader and being like in a leadership role is being able to be humble and being patient and being soft, right?
Absolutely.
Leadership is soft, right? And being able to relate with that person.
That's cool, man, because a lot of people, especially men who want to be leaders, think it's all about being masculine and, you know, being tough. But like, you got to have that soft spot to be able to lead people and hear them out. So I love that, man, and you're a true example of that, brother.
But I think, like, to piggyback on that point is like, you have to find your masculinity first.
Absolutely.
Right? You can't just get into that soft role. You have to find that masculinity. Like, you need to have the ability to lead before you become a leader. Oh, I want to be a leader. I don't know how to lead yet.
Yeah.
Right? Because I don't know that masculine role that I want to lead. How do I
That's true.
How do I do things? How do I do things the right way? When nobody's around, how do I hold myself accountable? And so I think that's kind of what it comes down to me, is like learning how to be a man. You're right.
Man.
Like, really taking accountability. Like, no, I am enough. I can do this. Right.
Yes,
like, so I think that's a big part of being able to lead. You lead first, then you become a leader.
Absolutely, man. And, you know, getting into that a little bit more, man, you know, because you obviously are motivating people out here every day. So how do you keep someone motivated during a long transformation, man?
Dude, it's like kind of just warfare. Sometimes I'll get in this mode where I'm like, I mess with my clients. I'm like, you gonna eat that? Bro,
That's
really?
facts,
I'm like, bro, you looking kind of small today. It's kind of messing with them a little bit, and kind of just joking around with it, and kind of just building that kind of mindset to keeping people go, and how they tick, right? Some people need me to, yo, dude, you suck. Come on, bro, pick it up. Let's go. What do you got? Some people don't respond well, where it's like, hey man, like, you want me to be real right now? Because like, it's gonna hurt your feelings. Like, you really want to have that real talk. So understanding who I'm talking to, but you got to build the relationship first.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's what it comes down to. That's why I'm like, I need to see you guys consistently. I always tell people when someone comes in for their first session, I absolutely have no clue how to train you. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know your body. I don't even know you. I don't even have anything planned. I don't have anything written. And so I'll show people, I'm like, I'm gonna figure it out. It's probably like gonna take me 4 sessions to figure out what we're doing. I'm not gonna be like, well, we're gonna do this. This is the style. It's like, I actually have no clue. And then when people hear that, they're kind of shocked. But I'm like, how would I know how you move? Right? People always lie about injuries. I'm like, do we have any injuries? And like, oh, well, actually, I did broke my femur when I was 19. Like, okay, that plays a huge role.
Yeah.
Right? Or no,
exactly.
yeah, like, you know, I broke my neck. Like, okay, that's good to know. And so I think building that relationship first, but the relationship is built off trust. I tell people we are a personal training gym. We don't have everything that other gyms have, but we get results, and that's what we do.
Absolutely.
You
So
know?
you build that relationship with your clients, and after that, you just make sure to keep them accountable.
It's on trust. Like, if your clients don't trust you, like, people will come in and they're going to ask a bunch of questions and things like that. And I think trust is built on, all right, this is what it is. If you want to train, cool. You know, it can't be very pushy or they're just going to leave.
Absolutely,
you know?
man. And, you know, injuries are big when it comes to, you know, working out. And I like that you pointed that out. From your experience now, what are the most common injuries that you've seen with your clients, man?
Yeah, that is kind of my specialty. That's something I don't talk a lot about. I've had 3 knee surgeries, so I became kind of like the knee like guru. Like, I know exactly what it does to your body and how it changes. And so helping people with that. I have people with like autoimmune diseases that have like serious injuries that you wouldn't even know this person's in chronic pain every single day, to learn how to train them, to make them feel normal, to make them feel strong. Right, and that's my job. I have a lot of people that come in with injuries, and I don't talk about it because it's private, right? But some people don't know that I can do that. But probably 50% of my clients have some serious injuries, and I think it's okay. That real talk, that we might not be able to go back to full strength. You might always be at 80%, but that's okay. We're gonna make it a strong 80%, and helping them feel good, right? Like, I gotta find workouts that cater to them where they don't feel like it's like, oh, like I didn't feel strong today. Like, no, I'm gonna figure out how to train you, and we're gonna have a great time. You know, I've had every injuries with tumors. I had this kid come in, and I'm like, why do you want to train with me? He's like, bro, you inspire me. I'm like, all right, whatever. He's like, I had cancer, and I was like, dang. So then I'm working out with him. I normally don't like to train clients late like that, from 6:30 to 7:30. But he's coming in with a joy of life. And I'm like, bro, I want to be around you for an hour. Like, he's working out like every workout is meaningful. Like it means something to them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I love that. And so I think I learned so much from those kind of people. And
That's cool, man.
you know, I have people that'll come in, and I had this guy, his knee probably torn his meniscus. I'm like, all right, let's figure it out. Let's figure out what the injury is. Let's try supplements. Let's try to get you a knee brace. And if you don't want to get surgery, this is what we're going to do, right? And so then you do isometric training, right? So if someone has a bad lower body, we do isometrics, right? We're going to build tension within our body, right? And we're going to get those imbalances back. People come in with jacked shoulder.
Talk about isometric training a little bit more.
Yeah, so isometric is like building that tension. So you'll hold the lunge. I'm gonna have you hold it in place, and I'm gonna have you push down with your foot. Be intentional with doing that kind of stuff. Or if you're doing like a shoulder press, I'm gonna have you pull down, but there's no tension, but you're gonna build that tension. And so that's how you do that without doing progressive overload that just put strain on the joints. And so we'll do a lot of isometrics in the beginning with my clients. They'll call it my Jedi workout. So like I'll be in that mode. We'll do these little things where I'll have your leg over a little foam thing, and they're gonna be like, this is so hard. Right, and to do those things. But then I started doing that because my clients who couldn't maybe do a leg press, I'm like, look at everyone's struggling with this. So now nobody knows what a special workout is. Nobody knows anyone has injuries because I'm gonna make you guys all do those workouts. Yeah. And so that way when they come in here, there's this leg workout that I make all my clients do, but it started with somebody who couldn't do squats, somebody who couldn't do the leg press, can't even jump. But now nobody thinks she has to do something special or he has to do something special. You guys are all special, right? So doing that so everyone feels safe and comfortable. That's why I'm always private. I'm hard to find, right? Because I want people to feel safe. I don't want people to feel like, oh, I don't fit the mold. Like you come in here and it's going to be private. And I want everyone to not look over their shoulder, be like, what are they doing over there? Because everyone likes to watch. Yeah. And so that's kind of what I do.
That's cool, man. I mean, there's going to be people watching this, man, that are going through injuries, man, that just have been hesitant in working out. So like, what would you want that person to think, man? Like when it comes down to maybe coming to your gym or just starting?
Knowing that like whatever your injury is, like we can help you. Like we 100%, I am so confident. And I think that is the gift that I got from the Lord for training. It's not weight loss, because weight loss just happened because my grandma helped me with my diet. We dialed it in. My grandma made me low-cal mac. Me and my grandma, I lived with my grandma for a year. Me and my grandma did cans of tuna. She helped me dial my diet in, but that's where it came in. I had this guy, I was training at a gym, and he got shot in the back of the leg, and his whole leg muscle was pretty much gone. And I was like, I'm new. I'm like 6 months into it, and I'm figuring out how to fix him. And I'm like, the only way that I'm knowing how to do this is through the Lord. Like that is my gift that the Lord has given me, is injuries and helping people with imbalances. And I remember having a conversation with him, and he's like, David, when I go to heaven, I'm going to be up in heaven singing. I want to worship. And I'm like, man, I needed that because worship is not my favorite thing to do in church. I want to show up late, so I'm halfway through the thing. And so I get those type of clients in the beginning with serious injuries, like over and over again, and I'm figuring it out. And the owner's like, how are you doing this? And I'm like, dude, I don't know. And so then I realized this is my gift. That's my passion. This is what I'm supposed to be doing, right? And that's how I knew I was supposed to be a trainer, because I didn't go to college, but it came so natural to me, because I'm like, why did I tear my knee? It was my senior year in practice. I was supposed to play college ball. Someone ran into me in practice, dislocated my knee, tore it in 3 places. Man.
Wow, that's crazy. So God put you through some tough times to help people.
Yeah. And then I lost weight and thinking that was the journey that it was weight loss. It was to be able to do that. Right. But then it's like, it's actually injury, understanding the injury. And I figured it out, tore my knee again, try to get myself in shape, maybe to play football, tore it again, playing basketball, tore it again. All right, we're going to be done with that. Wow. And so seeing...
And you're still running a lot.
Still running, right?
That's crazy.
I couldn't run.
And you've learned how to really improve, those joints and those muscles around those legs to continue to run.
Well, it's hardship. Yeah. It's like in the beginning when I lose weight, I'm running 20 miles. And then I go through that knee saga.
Goggins number 2 over here. Man.
Right? But I don't talk about it a lot. I just don't, I just don't talk about the knee injuries. But I couldn't run for 5 years. It wasn't until my client where I'm like, well, let me try this again. And I used to have to run with a knee brace, and I would have pain. This is probably the first time where I have no pain, but it took me a long time to figure out what I needed to do. I have clients that are physical therapists that'll come in and be like, hey, can you help my wife? She has pain, right? And to have that level of trust from professionals, I train chiropractors. So to have real people to do that, and we're piggybacking, we're having real conversations. And so, going through, running with pain, you're going to have some pain. This was the first time I didn't have any knee pain running my half marathon, but it's taken me 11 years of training, right? So when I tell my clients, it might take us a long time.
Yeah, I mean, tell us a little bit about what you do to, improve the pain you've had with your knees, man.
Man, I think improving is pain management. If you don't do pain well, then I'm not going to be able to help you. But if we can all manage pain somehow, I think the biggest thing was I've tried everything.
Yeah.
Chiropractic, cupping, cold plunging. The biggest thing that really helps is cupping, sauna, cold plunge, rolling out the bottom of your feet,
Okay.
being intentional, strengthening your hip flexors, strengthening all the muscles around it and seeing what we can do.
Yeah. So there's always going to be ways to improve the muscles and the joints, but there's always going to be pain there.
It's always going to be a little
it's
bit.
like a lot of people think pain is like bad because they're like, oh, I'm making it worse for myself. It's not good for me to go through that pain. So like, what would you tell that person, brother?
Man.
Because like some people probably don't mind the pain,
Yeah.
and they're just afraid it's making it worse for them. You know what I mean?
I think, to suffer is to be human, right? And to understand there's going to be a little suffering in the process, and being okay with that and knowing that it's not for glory, but there is a purpose for it, right? There's a purpose for that pain. It's to remind you, hey, don't take your health for granted, right? Hey, don't take your health for granted. It's supposed to be a lesson for whatever that is. And it might not show up today or tomorrow, but there's a lesson in the pain and suffering that comes with that, and doing different workouts and learning, taking. I always tell people, like, I'll steal everybody's workouts. I'm trying everyone's workouts. I don't make up anything. I don't invent any workout. I'll see on Instagram and I'm like, dude, let me try that. Knees over toes guy.
Hey, I know that guy,
bought his program, and it didn't work for me. I'm like, dude, this didn't help me. But I took some of his exercises and they did work. So taking a little bit from everybody, and that's what I've always tried to do to humble myself. It's like, man, I know nothing. Let me try to get this from people who do know something, and let me see if I can apply it to my real life clients.
Nice.
That's like the biggest thing that's gotten me.
That's cool, man, because you didn't just use your own experience throughout your injuries, but you learned throughout like knees over toes. You learned through all this, and you put all that together to help your clients and people, man.
Well, it's
That's
like
awesome,
understanding. So say you're like, hey, my knee hurts. Well, it's like, why does your knee hurt? It's not your knee that's weak. And so then it's like, okay, we're working out. I'm like, okay, you have a weak quad. Okay, why is your quad weak? Is it's overcompensating? It's like, okay, maybe your quad isn't weak. It's overused because your left quad is actually the one not turned on. So understanding that imbalance, and it just became so natural to me, kind of like saying that's kind of like my gift. So be like, okay, your right knee hurts and now your right quad is weak, but it's your left quad that's not doing enough of the work. And so to be able to understand that, but some trainers will look at that and be like, all right, we need to strengthen your quad. It's already overworked. How do we get this guy not overworked? If it's like,
the other side.
it's the other side. And so just to see that and kind of to understand that is kind of what I'll do. Like, my clients will come in and be like, man, I can't activate my chest. Most of the time, men's hips are turned down, right? So when your hips are turned down, you can't even open up your chest. So we have to work at our hips. And they'll look at me like, dude, I don't want to do that. I'll be like, I don't care. This is what you're going to do. Like, I had man titties. This is what we're going to do. And I had this older guy. He did not want to do it. He was 51. He's like, I don't want to do this. We're doing it. And we fixed his hips. I said,
it's awkward. I like some of the workouts.
Well, I'm like, I need you to tuck your hips and you're going to do your flies. He's like, oh, I can engage it. To understand that. But I've never had mind muscle connection. I couldn't do push-ups my senior year. I couldn't do a pull-up. So understanding, man, I have had my body not work. So I've had to go through a bunch of weird things to figure it out. And so I've been able to just kind of translate my story with my clients. I'm not genetically gifted. Like, I'm not a top 5% athlete. I've just grinded and hustled this out, man.
I've just hard work, man.
Not gifted by any means,
Yeah, man. And if you don't have the genetics, it doesn't mean that you can't make it where you want. So David's a big example of that, guys. So I mean, if you guys haven't checked out, Standard Culture Fitness Club, you guys got to come out and check it out. There's great things happening out here. When it comes down to this background here, man, we're gonna talk a little bit about that, okay? Because I seen your dogs, man, and you're building something that people don't really see. So, what got you into raising huskies, and what makes your program different, brother?
Yeah, I think this mural was done by my client Trey. He's like my big brother. He's really done so much for me in my life. He paid for this to get done, and I'm like, dude, this is crazy. He spent a good amount of money to do that. To have my client to do this for me. We just had a dumb little bird up there, and to have my client put that much money in because it changed his life in here, it showed we were doing the right thing, and he did that for me. And it really kind of solidified who we were at that time. We were just trying to build, and to have that mural kind of was an example of what I'm actually building now. After, going through the ups and downs, losing trainers, it's like getting that built was like, okay, the wolf mentality. And now we have a new litter of puppies now. The Huskies are they're the best dogs in my opinion. They're not going to listen to you. but they're your
loud.
at all. Like they're you can't
Yeah.
train these guys. I mean, they're going to come in and be well trained, but they're not going to be German Shepherds. But those guys will
Yeah.
fight a bear for you. They're like ride or die. That's why I like
Yeah.
these guys. Like when I'm on a run with them, I'm like, yo, one day it's going to just be me and you versus a bear. And so I just love the mentality
Especially
of
out here. Yeah.
the wolves and the huskies and things like that. And he had a husky, and his husky and my husky had babies, and so that's what we're doing now. And so,
Yeah.
but I think that kind of translates to the culture. Right,
Absolutely.
like him doing that, like he didn't need to do that. He wasn't like, hey man, can I get a percentage? It's like he didn't do that. He did that because he cared. And I barely knew him at the time, right? And to see somebody to give out like that, it's like, dang, like that separates me from a lot of other gyms. But there's no way I'm spending money for some paint. I'm just not doing that personally. But it's
Hey,
super
man,
cool.
That's God, brother. He's
Yeah.
You know, and just going back to like the guy that gave you money and helped you, man. The reason I met both of you is because of God, brother.
Yeah.
Because someone recommended a church to me, and from that church, I got to know you and the guy behind the scenes over here, man. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Just having faith, you know, believing in what you're doing, and you know, no matter what you're going through, if you believe, you have faith, and you push through, doors will keep opening. But you got to believe, you know, and you got to give all praise to the Lord. But
to piggyback on that as well, it's like is helping the next generation of just maybe older men or even younger men to understand when the Lord provides,
Yes.
what providing is going to look like is not what you're going to expect, right? Providing is going to look a lot of different ways, and helping people understand that, because it's like maybe they hear like, well, that's cool for David to be like, the Lord provided you with money and a cool mural. That sounds nice. But sometimes like the Lord provides you in isolation, in community, in
Amen.
family, and health, right? And understanding what that, like, you know, what the Lord provides. It's not always like, those are just very small things, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's easy for me to say, you know, the Lord gave me $5,000, and, you know, the Lord brought someone in my life to do this. But it's like the Lord brings a lot of different things. And then it's like, do you have the trust in the Lord to understand what He's providing is what you need to see,
Absolutely.
right? Like right now, the Lord has me in community, right? And I'm like, okay, the Lord has me in community, and that's what He's providing for me. That's a blessing, and being okay with that. The Lord is not providing me 50 grand this month, right? And if I'm having a hard time financially, okay, well, if He's providing community, I'm going to get more clients. Just understand the
Yes, sir.
process and the plan. And I think that's what I need to do more of, and just kind of letting people understand that, you know, when the Lord provides, it's just going to look different, and really be in the season of the Lord. Because if you're not praying to the Lord and in the Word, you're not going to understand, and you're going to get frustrated. And it's not that you ever get frustrated with the Lord, but it's, we all compare.
Yeah.
We're always comparing each other. It's always keeping up with the Joneses. Is like, hey, just take a second to take a
What do you
deep
mean by
breath.
that?
Keeping up with the Joneses. It's like always like, that's that phrase of like, oh, Mr. Jones over there got the new truck, I want to give up. You know, trying to always chase that. And we all know that phrase somehow. And I think it's like, hey, that's not what we're trying to do. You know, even with Instagram, everyone's trying to chase more followers and more things. It's like, hey, it's not about that. Let the Lord provide for you and see what that looks like, and give it some time. Let it marinate. Let it cook a little bit. You marinate the chicken, it's going to taste way better than chicken that's not marinated.
I love that,
you know?
brother. Thank you, man, for picking back on that, because that's true. You know, these things are just the smaller things that everything else you really don't see behind the scenes sometimes. What God's doing in your life, a lot of times you don't even realize it.
Yeah.
You don't even realize it, man. So, you know, God can do so much for you, but if you're not living in the Word of God and, you know, reading the Bible and really understanding what's going on, then it's going to be hard to believe what God's doing for you. So I love that, man. I appreciate you sharing a little bit more with that. I do want to go back to, you know, a little bit more to standard culture here. You know, I love what you got going on, man.
Yeah.
I told you before, I believe in what you're doing, and I see great things coming. So I kind of want to see what's in your mind when it comes to the future, man. Like, do you have a vision? Like, where do you see standard culture in the future, brother?
That's a good question. I think when I was younger, I was like, all I would do was scheme up. I would smoke weed all the time and do all that stuff. I don't smoke weed anymore, like at all. I used to have to smoke all the time. You know, occasionally I'll hit the pen, but I had to smoke all the time, and I wanted to be creative, and I thought, I just felt like I needed to smoke, and I had to smoke. I had to get weed. I had to do that. And then getting older and realizing how crippling it was for me. Not anxiety, but crippling, feeling like I needed something to relax, to just be creative, right? And maybe it does have its purpose, but it did kind of consume my life, and been able to just cut it off. I'm lucky I don't have an addictive personality, but to understand, if I meet a young kid and he's smoking, I'm gonna tell him not to smoke. Now, I'm not old head saying don't smoke, but I was a guy that's smoking. Number one, it's expensive. Number two, you don't make enough money to be relaxing.
Right.
To be honest, like, what are you doing? What do you need to relax for? And so I think, you know, kind of going on that kind of, I kind of even forgot what you asked. What did you ask me again?
No, you're good,
I'm on
man.
a tangent
You're,
about the weed.
no,
I'm
no,
like,
no,
bro,
no,
you know.
man. You know what? I just quit. I'm less than a month sober, bro. My mind has never been more clear, bro.
Oh yeah, so we're talking about vision
So,
with standard culture.
the
Yeah.
vision. Thank you. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
so my vision is kind of, it's changed a little bit. Wolf culture is coming, right? I'm building a new website.
Okay.
I took the website off. I was like, all right, no website.
Okay.
No phone, right? So you're going to find me, you're going to have to really find me. And so
Yes, sir.
Wolf culture is coming and kind of building a brand off called like second nature. I want it to be second nature.
Okay.
Right? Everything you do, I want it to be second nature. The way that you do things, the way that you treat people, make it second nature. So wolf culture, legendary culture, those are things I'm kind of just letting it kind of just marinate. And kind of moving away from like standard culture was what I needed. That was the baseline, but it's like, okay, now there's a culture and it's a wolf culture.
Yes, sir.
Right? I didn't know what my culture was going to be. All I knew was going to be the standard.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that's going to be, it's going to be at this level. And so wolf culture is coming in like the next couple of months or years. Who knows?
Yes, sir.
But you know, I'm trying not to scheme too much. Like I was like, oh, I want to go to the mall and let me get a new shirt that says wolf culture. I'm like, I'm not there yet, or I would have
I just saw that shirt, man.
yeah,
That's
the standard
sick.
culture
I like
shirt.
that.
But I was like, I want to go get my new shirts
Yeah.
made. I'm like, all right, just kind of relax and chill. And I think, you know, getting older and I guess like the whole vision thing, it's like, I think that's probably what I've been struggling with my life lately is letting the Lord plan my steps. Cause like,
Yes,
you know, when
sir.
you smoke, you get to scheme, right? That was the best thing to scheme, but I'm like, scheme for what?
Right.
What am I scheming for? What
Yeah.
what does that vision even look like?
Yeah.
Because if the Lord is like, all right, cool, you built your gym, because I wanted to have 10 gyms. Now I don't want to have another gym after this. Maybe I want to do a different business. So having my mind, kind of just being more open and not being so like, hey, this is what I want to do. This is how I want to do it. But right now we're looking to get more trainers. We're doing recovery up front and we're getting into cupping. We're really becoming a full service. Now that I see that people are struggling with their health, people don't have health care. We want to be a place where we can teach people how to eat, where to get certain things, how to recover the body and the mindset and get people to feel great. And that's kind of where we're becoming a full service gym. We're building a full culture now. Right, before it was just training and now we want to get into the recovery. We don't need to do a meal prep service. There's amazing meal prep services out there that I can go have
Yeah.
somebody to understand, but understanding nutrition and supplements and peptides and the new way of health, like people don't have healthcare anymore. So not that we are healthcare providers, but being that first step of, hey man, I don't feel good, and be able to be a full service in community. Right, because that's what churches were supposed to be, is a place of community. I want to come in here and this is a safe spot for people for health or fitness. I'm not trying to be anything that I'm not. I'm not here for financial. I'm not here for this. We are the community for health and fitness, and that's what we do.
Amen.
But it's private. I am a private place. Like I can't
sir.
just have 100 people in here. I want people who want to be here. And that's why it's like, I'm kind of like the Batcave. I don't have a sign up front. You got to have to find me. Like the other day I had this lady, she responded off of our little intro.
Nice.
She's like, I was trying to get in and I don't see the gym. And I was like, well, come find me. She's like, I can't even, where's the gym? There's no way. And she comes in here and she's like, I tried to find you for 3 weeks. She's like, I went to a bunch of different gyms, you know, because I'm hard to find unless you
Yeah.
reach out to me on Instagram, and I might not respond. You reach out to me, I get busy.
Yeah.
Right. And this lady came in and it was great. She's like, oh, Mijo, I'm glad I found this place. I was like, I'm glad you found it. She's like, for 3 weeks, I've been trying to find it. I was like, cool.
Nice. I love that, brother. I'm
You know.
glad, you know. And that's what the point of this is. Like, if you truly want a gym where it's based off of community and you truly want to be disciplined and consistent, like this might be your place right here. You know, you got recovery going on, right?
Yeah.
You got the recovery session.
Yeah, that's starting to take off. We're kind of just, you know, soft launching it a little bit. We haven't officially opened it up. We're kind of just still
Yeah.
figuring it out. Like,
Okay.
and it's been taking me
Yeah.
2 years to try to figure out, what do I want to do in the front of the gym? What does a recovery look like? I thought I wanted to do massage therapist. I realized I don't like touching people. Okay, well, what am I gonna do? Cupping, I don't gotta touch. I just don't like to touch people. That's just not my thing. It funks me out. I thought I could do it. Bless the people who can do that.
Yeah.
It's just not me. That's not my calling. So, but it's like people are in chronic pain now. We're all like have injuries. So that's kind of like the next step. Hopefully we're full service by summer, but we've been growing at a
man,
a
you
great
are
rate.
going to be full service,
you
brother.
know.
You are going to be, man.
Yeah. So, but you never know, right? I might
Yeah.
just want to have the front to be a kick-it spot. Maybe I just want to
Hey.
have the TV and just get away from the masses a little
You're
bit.
the one moving the pieces, brother.
But you
So
know,
I
I'm just
love
having
it.
I'm having fun with it. I'm just
That's
having
good.
fun
That's
in
what
my
matters,
life.
man.
Yeah.
That's truly what matters, brother. Because it sounds like it's been a long journey and it's been tough. So like, if you're not enjoying it, that's where it's really tough.
Bro,
right?
yeah, I'm like, I'm only 30. I
Yeah.
can't be tired yet. We got to have fun with this. So
Yeah.
I'm just having fun being a business owner. I'm having fun growing. I'm having fun doing this kind of stuff. I'm learning to have
Yeah.
fun.
Yes, sir.
I would take life so serious. I got to do goals. I got to do this because that's how
Yeah.
I am with my clients. I'm like, let's have some fun.
Yeah.
Go out and have some
You
good
gotta be
food.
serious, but you gotta have fun too.
Yeah, you got to be serious, but I think like you can have fun with discipline.
Absolutely.
And I think I'm trying to learn what that looks like. And I don't have it figured out yet, but I'm like, dude, discipline can kill you. Discipline can be depressing.
Yeah,
and
talk
nobody
about
wants
that.
to talk about that. You know, everybody wants to talk about the discipline with this and this is how we're going to scale. We're going to do that. You like that all the time? Man, you don't want to just chop it up with the boys with a fire and cook some chicken and have some fun? Like we're going to be serious all the time and just talk about how to make money and do all that stuff? That sounds boring. I want to make money so I can hang out with the people I want to hang out with, so I can eat good food. That's what I want to do. I want to eat good food and go see places and meet people and hear their stories. That's what I want to do. And so I think trying to help people, you can die in discipline.
Yeah, that's true, man. Yeah.
Like I don't want my tombstone to be like, man, Dave had a lot of discipline. That's a sad way to people to remember me of discipline. I want people to remember like, man, Dave helped me out, man. We had a great time together. I want to build stories with people. So I'm trying to get in that new era. Not that I'm old, but I'm 30. Things have changed. I see when people say you get older, you start to calm down a little bit, you know.
Heck yeah, man. I'm enjoying this conversation with you, man. And it's crazy, guys. If you reach out to David and he's not responding, don't give up. Keep reaching out.
Hit him up. If I don't respond, just message him.
Hit me up, yeah.
Make him train you.
Yeah.
He'll wake up early.
Honestly, I do love bodybuilding. I might be looking to train 1 or 2 people. So we'll see, guys. You know, I want to help you guys, you know, get big. I want to compete next year.
What are your goals?
Next year, I want to be my first competition in bodybuilding will be next year.
Oh yeah?
Next year.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it.
Nice.
I'm building that every day. Like you said, it's hard, but I'm eating 5 times, 6 times a day, and it's hard, man. But I love it.
Why do you like working out?
Say it again.
Why do you like working out and training?
Man, the reason I love working out, man, is because it keeps me consistent with everything else I need to do in life. You know what I mean? Because if I can miss 2 days from the gym. Once I miss 3 or 4, man, everything else in my days, my routine starts falling apart. So like working out is really keeping me consistent in everything else I need to do.
Are you naturally consistent, or will you kind of get scattered without it?
Without the gym, man, I get scattered, brother. The gym keeps me organized, bro. Like it's something as simple as making your bed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, like, and my brain gets like foggy and I get frustrated. It's because we have so much testosterone as men, brother. If you're not doing something physically active, you're just gonna be crashing out on people, road raging, and
so you like the gym for consistency for your life. That's your
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
About to hijack your podcast, start asking you questions, bro.
I love it, brother. Yeah, no, ask me all you want, man.
Because that's what I enjoy, because it's like, okay, you enjoy the consistency, because then you have consistency in your life. I'm like, all right, cool. Now we got to be consistent, you know?
Absolutely, man. Like just for the podcast, for example, man, it's not easy to be consistent, but I'm posting once a week.
Bro, good for you, man. I see you grinding out there. I'm like, I could never, bro. You out there hustling, posting all the time, engaging and all that kind of stuff. That's a full-time job. I'm like, bro, good for you, man.
I have a full-time job outside of this, and after work, I just go home and grind as much as I can. I still got to make my meals. It's hard. It's not easy, bro. But, you know, man, I've been enjoying this conversation. But just to kind of end it here with something good for the people who are watching. You know, I truly want people to feel like they can do more in life, and that's why I'm here with you today. So, like, let's say there's some people out there who just feel stuck in life right now, man. Like, what would you tell that person, brother?
That's a good question. Man, if someone is feeling stuck, whether you feel like you're stuck in your job, your relationship, anything that looks like, is just take a deep breath and kind of, as weird as it sounds, is like either type out your goals or what you want for your life, and like what you want for your life and what you need for your life, and see if they align, right? And then get in that kind of spot. And if you're kind of feeling stuck, I don't know if I can really honestly give somebody that answer, to be honest with you. Like if somebody was like, man, I'm feeling stuck. Well, it's like, what do we got to change?
Yeah.
Right? Change has to happen. I think if people who don't want to make the change sucks. Change is the worst. 100%. Change is going to come with suffering. You're probably going to be broke. You're probably going to feel like you made the wrong decision, right? Change most of the time is going to feel like you made the wrong choice probably for the next couple of years, or forever, whatever you need to do. If it's a relationship, man, it's going to take, that change is going to be hard. You're going to miss that person. You're going to be like, man, why did I do that? You're going to feel angry. If the job, you're feeling stuck and you want to change it, you might have to take a pay cut. It means your lifestyle changes, right? Change is the worst. I don't like change. Nobody likes change. We all like consistency, right? When you change something up, now you're out of that. And I think if you have to make the change, is you got to make sure you have the discipline somewhere.
100%.
You know, man. And whether that's the gym, whether that's something else, whether that's running, you know, but humbling yourself enough to be like, you know what, it's going to be okay. This is a season where like, I'm going to just be okay with just enjoying a good meal, maybe a good show or going on a walk. You got to be able to live a humble lifestyle, right? Like I've lived in clients' backyards. I've lived at the gym. I lived in a travel trailer. I drove a 94 Honda Accord. No shame with that, guys. But, you know, I've had to be okay with the little things.
Right.
To change, you have to be okay with the little things in life. So that's what I would tell people. If you are going to need to make a change or you're feeling stuck, just enjoy the little things. Enjoy some sunshine. Enjoy just,
brother.
enjoy it.
You have to enjoy the little things before you start improving on the bigger things in life. And you know, if you do feel stuck in life, man, that was great advice. You know, sometimes you have to sit down, self-reflect, take a deep breath, see what's going wrong in your life and what you need to change, because we've all been through it, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we all
Old
have to
habits
go
die
through
hard.
it.
It's hard.
Yep.
Right? Old habits die hard. That's
Yes,
that
sir.
kind of that phrase that just kind of will stick with you. It's like you're gonna want to go back to your old habits, just build new habits, enjoy it, and if people
Build
need to
new
make the
habits.
change, come in. We have some great trainers here. We'd love to help you guys however we can, whether that's running, fitness, nutrition. Like that's what we do. I don't want to give more than I can. I'm not a therapist. I don't have financial advice. I'm not a great business owner. I'm still figuring this stuff out.
Yes,
So,
sir.
but I can help you guys with fitness, health, and longevity, in mentality. That's what I can do. That's my specialty. I'll leave that other
Amen.
stuff to everybody else,
Yes, sir, brother. So anybody who does want to find you and reach out to you now, where can they reach out to you, brother? Can you let them know?
Yeah, so we're in Vancouver, Washington. We're off St. John's Road. The address, you can find it in my Instagram.
I'll put it on there.
We are appointment only, so if you're trying to find us, reach out to our Instagram. Someone will get to you. We're private, and we want people who want to make the change. You don't have to train 5 days a week. We can train 1 day a week. We work with any budget. We can figure it out. If someone wants to come in and they're like, we only have $100, we'll make it work. We'll figure out something. You might have to be paired up with a buddy, but we'll make it work. So,
Amen. I love it. Reach out, guys. You know, I love this gym here. Who knows what the future has for it, but I see great things. I appreciate you, brother.
appreciate you, fam. Appreciate
Amazing
it.
conversation with you, man.
Yep.
Love it.
Heck yeah.
Hey, man, that was good, man.
We cranked it out, brother.
Yeah.
That was fun. That was fun. I like that.